Hey there, I'm Mark.
I'm Evan.
And on this week's episode, we talk about purpose and pain.
Mark crying on the treadmill.
Yes, and Evan has to go.
Hey, there he is.
Wrong profile. Let me go on the other one.
Wow.
I literally just got back 20 seconds ago from the gym.
Okay.
So, let me go to the other one.
Okay, bye. There he is.
Hey!
He looks the same on both profiles.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It is. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Something to Prove podcast. I know you already did that, but I'm supposed to act as the host every now and again.
Okay, good. Go for it.
Excellent, excellent. So you were, sorry, I interrupted. You were saying something about Cyrus? He posts the most articulate and amazing daily motivational things. I don't know how many times he practices. I don't know how many times he does it, but every single time it's just like so bang on. So
for our podcast audience, I was talking about Cyrus Webb. He's got a interview show that he has Cyrus Webb Presents, I think is his IG handle. I've been on, Mark's been on, a bunch of my thought leaders who come through the Thought Leadership Academy have been on. He asks great questions. And he's one of my favorites because he's like me with consistency. He's always putting it out.
So he's like you, but with consistency?
No. He's like me with consistency in that he's always at least every time I'm going, I see something new.
I can't. Yes, I'm envious of both of your abilities to be consistently consistent.
Well, the difference between doing and not doing
is doing.
Exactly. Let's go.
Hey, anyway.
Hey, you know what? I got two things to share before we get into it. One, perfect. I have a bit of a sore throat today, which is interesting. I haven't gotten sick in a long time. With Hayden over, I'm off of my usual morning routine, and the breathing, the Wim Hof breathing makes such a difference, man. So I'm back to it, but crazy.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know anything about Wim Hof other than what I've heard you say and the fact you've met him, and I've watched him swimming underwater. But every time that I walk the dog, I go out in shorts and a T-shirt. Okay. And people go, "You're crazy." And I just go, "Cold exposure is good for you." I don't actually know if what I'm doing is good for me. I don't know how to breathe. I don't know how to get through it. I don't know any of that stuff. My answer, though, from the little bit I know, is I just go, "Cold exposure is good for you." And I just walk the dog for 20 minutes in like minus 10-degree weather in shorts and a T-shirt.
That's awesome.
Is it good for you or no?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good for you. It's good for you. Wim is cold exposure plus breathing. I actually find the breathing more helpful than the cold exposure.
It helps you feel more?
Helps me feel more? No, you don't need help feeling more. You're human. You just need to tap into it.
So sorry, that was number one. Number two.
Number two was so the past week I've been dealing with maybe past 3 weeks. I'm dealing with computer issues. I got the wrong a graphics card.
Oh, but it's the Lamborghini you said. You
exactly.
have the Lamborghini of graphic cards, and it doesn't.
Did we talk about this on the podcast? Okay, perfect. So then we can do an update. So I got my Lamborghini graphics card back.
Yes.
And we went to go install it, and and the guy said I have all these viruses on my computer. I need to install McAfee, whatever. So great. So great idea to action. We're going to buy McAfee. We installed it on all the computers. And I was putting it on my Mac yesterday. And as you go through the steps, because Nina did all the other ones, as you go through the steps, this is why I thought of you. You have to, it says like protect your info, blah, 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 all these settings. And then it's like, are you ready for your virus scan? Are we going to do a full virus scan, right? And then we've got this giant blue button at the bottom that says, "Let's go."
I love it.
I
love it. They're trying to make it fun.
Is Mark Drager consulting for McAfee? Is he rebranding them?
I like it. Let's go.
Anyway, that's my introduction. Okay,
here
we are. First episode of the new year.
It is, and we're doing it on IG live because this is the one and only episode where we're time boxed to 55 minutes. we have to be done at 10:25. So I thought let's do an IG live because it's a little bit more fun than the typical Zoom calls that we tend to do. We have the chance to interact with the audience.
Why do we? Oh, yes. I have to go live in I have my YouTube Facebook course. No,
yes.
YouTube, not Facebook course. YouTube course, Facebook Live.
That's
that I
fine.
have to do.
That's fine. You're burning time now. So let's plan to do a few.
Listen, you showed up on the wrong account, Drager.
Let's plan to do a few listener questions at the end. So for the OG podcast listeners, we used to do IG Live for 1 hour, and we'd spend about half an hour, 40 minutes talking, and then we do some listener questions. We've since then split it to 2 different sessions so we have more time. Let's go back to the old one today. So if we can we hit today's topic then? Are you good with that?
Yeah, ready.
Perfect. So I got a smorgasbord. I got 2 possible topics. The first.
No, just pick one, Mark.
Fine.
Oh, Christ! We're not starting 2020 with hedging. And
there's no hedging. I'm trying to give you the opportunity to decide
Mark,
which one will get
you already know. You already know.
Right.
You already know. You already know.
Great. Let's talk Built to Serve. We haven't talked about it in a long time.
Ooh, okay.
You have your tour coming up, and you're leaving in a week or something, right?
I feel like this is the safe topic, though. I feel like you picked the safe one.
It's not because one.
I trust you.
I don't think it is the safe topic.
Okay, I trust you. Go.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know what Built to Serve is, what's Built to Serve, real quick, so that way we can jump to advanced level. I want to jump to advanced level questions, but
it's my new book.
Yes.
It's my new book. We're doing on a tour. 3 months. I leave.
No. Not that. The philosophy of Built to Serve, not the book, not the stuff. The philosophy behind it.
People know what Built to Serve is if they're listening to this show. Come on, really? No?
Okay, so your greatest purpose comes from your pain? Your greatest pain?
Yes.
Okay. So something happened a few months ago, right? So I've always interpreted that your biggest pain is a moment where you are the victim of others, the victim of circumstance, where you were young or something happened in your life, and it was a terrible, traumatic event, and you've held on to it. And some people get to the point where they're willing to face it. And some people who are willing to face it get to the point where they're willing to beat it. And some of those people who are willing to beat it get to a point where they're willing to say, I've owned this, and share it with others and admit to themselves they survived it. And then some of those people get to the point where they're actually willing to help others through it. That's the way that I've interpreted your message.
Okay.
And then something happened where we had a mutual friend share something kind of vague about something in their life. And I had this sinking suspicion or feeling like maybe this person wasn't the victim. Maybe their traumatic event or their pain was realizing that they hurt others. Maybe they did something terrible. Maybe the drunk driver who kills a family has to live the rest of their life with this terrible thing that they've done.
Okay.
That could be the biggest pain. And it was this terrible sinking feeling I had. Now our mutual friend was a victim and didn't do anything terrible that I'm aware of and all that stuff. But it's interesting to me that I immediately thought of your greatest pain. The purpose that you get from that was when you were a victim of circumstance or others. But then the flip side of that is all the things that we do that hurt others. That could also be pain when we have to face it. And then how do we turn that into purpose as well?
Did we not talk about this? We talked about this like 3 months ago when it happened.
No, you texted me a little bit, and it was just like pain is pain. Let's go. Like you didn't.
It's still emotional pain. Okay, but
that
why?
Was your response was like pain is pain. We all face stuff. We're all human. Let's go.
Wow.
That was your answer.
That was not my answer.
It was not as sensitive and feeling based as I was hoping it'd be. No, This still bothers me. The thought that
hold on,
that
I'm gonna search for this.
I could have done. You're never gonna find it. Dude, you're never gonna find it. We messaged so much. How it was on IG, if you're really looking.
Oh, it's on IG. It wasn't on Facebook.
You and I went back and forth on IG. Yeah, about it.
Oh.
You're never gonna find it. But anyway, it worries me because a lot of things worry me. But it worries me that there could be all of these moments or all of these transgressions or all of these things I've done to hurt others that could be the foundation of their pain or even my own pain and just admitting I've done it. I don't know. That worries me. Have you thought about the flip side of it, or have you only thought in writing this book about you being the victim of others?
I never thought victim of others.
No?
I don't know why that's
Where does
the thing
pain
that
come from?
Anything, emotional pain. I was looking at my Facebook. It's
well,
not
here,
there.
the reason why I wanted to bring this up is you're getting ready for a tour. You are going to face hundreds and thousands of people in 22 cities across America over the next 90 days. More people will be like me than like you. More people's pain will be from being a victim of circumstance or those in their lives than just random emotional pain. So I'm prepping you. I'm priming you for people who think like me.
Most people's pain that I've come across has been from them feeling like being the victim instead of causing pain to somebody else.
Right. But you just said a second ago that you don't even think in terms of victim.
No, I don't. You brought it up.
Right.
If I had to put people into buckets, I'd say more people in the victim mode than they cause crazy harm to somebody, and that's what's causing them emotional distress.
Okay.
But it's still, whatever the lowest point was in your life emotionally, that is your pain. And your purpose comes from your pain. So if you went off and whatever you did, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't fully remember if this is the guy that I'm thinking about, but
someone in your circle, someone in your circle who has been a helper at Thought Leadership Academy.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So now look at what he's doing. He wants to share. He wants to give back. He wants to help. He wants to be a voice for others. Right? It's the same thing. I don't talk about this, the victim. Let me do a word search. I'm going to load up my book and see if I ever say victim in the book. Anywhere.
Where do you think the pain comes from then, Evan?
It doesn't matter.
I know to you it doesn't matter, Robot Man, but to us who are going to be working through the book and stuff.
Hold on. Oh, I say victim a couple times.
Aha! I love it.
In an example.
Yeah. No. How many times?
Hold on. So I was talking about so one of the case studies that I use, she was saying victim.
Yeah.
So she felt victim.
Perfect.
So I use it twice in that case study.
Case study.
Okay, and then there's one other match somewhere.
When Mark's talking. I don't think I use the word victim.
When I'm talking about Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
The victim became the enforcer.
Yes.
So there's 48,500 words in this book.
48,500? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So 48,500.
48,547 words.
For some reason I thought you meant there was 48,000 and a half words.
No, that's not it, Mark. and I used the word victim 3 times.
Yeah.
All 3 times explaining somebody else. Bruce Wayne.
Some might say that your book is riddled with the word victim throughout.
Well, that person would be wrong. Yes. Emotional pain. Emotional pain. Whenever you felt the lowest as a human being, for whatever happened, whether you caused it or not, that becomes your purpose, to help other people who are currently going through that thing. That's it. But why has it been bugging you for 3? We talked about it. Why didn't it make sense before when we messaged you? This is 3 months old. More. This was September?
No.
October, November, December?
No. This was in November. This was a message that the person sent to the group, and I wasn't at your first few things, and I wasn't part of your circle then, so I didn't have any context on anything. I didn't have any context.
Got it. I knew in September. He messaged everybody in November. Got it. Okay. Yes.
Can I ask you a side note? I know we're about to get into pain and purpose and stuff, but I'd say 4 or 5 people in my life have asked me, "What's up with your weird colored sleeve thing?" And I go,
"Wait,
I don't know."
4 or 5 people in your life asked you about my sleeve?
Mostly because in all of your marketing videos, or all of your videos of you on stage, you're standing with this thing on you, and they go, "What's up with that thing?" And I go, "I don't know. It's like his shoes. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it is.
It's like my shoes.
Does. Maybe it's a compression sock. I have no idea."
Okay, you don't put a sock on your arm, Mark. Jesus. Okay.
So what is it? What is it? Context. You're wearing it right now. What is it?
This is my Stay in a Beautiful State sleeve.
What?
Yeah. It's
so
a reminder.
You put that on to remind yourself to stay in a beautiful state.
Every day.
But you don't wear it every day.
Almost every day. You just don't see it because it's under a hoodie.
Okay. That's enough. I don't need any more explanation. I got it. Cool.
Okay.
I will be able to explain to everyone that it's Evan's Stay in a Beautiful Slate. Custom dyed Stay in a Beautiful State sleeve?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's say that really quick. Stay in a Beautiful state sleeve.
Can't even get it once. This should be branded, although it does match. Like it. Some of the oranges
are way
in there.
off brand. Way off brand.
No, they're not
just
way
a
off
black
brand.
and yellow one. Black, yellow, and white.
I actually like the splash of color. I like the splash of color. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you for answering my question.
Okay.
I've wondered for a year now, and I finally asked it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to shorten that gap, Mark.
We do.
I
need to
unless
text
the year
you
was
every
like
single time something pops into my head, right?
You do?
No, I said I should.
Oh, maybe.
Should I?
Maybe.
Should I just send you a message every time something pops into my head?
You shouldn't be sitting on something for a year, Mark. Unless
Anyway.
it was like January 1st to December 31st, or the other way.
Okay, so purpose is the pain, the greatest pain that you've ever had. Now, I know your book gets into this because I've read your book. It's a great book. I can't wait for it to come out. But
So exciting.
I've always struggled. Here's the other thing for all of our listeners. I've known Evan for a very long time. I've had the privilege and the honor of being at the laboratory stages of most of Evan's things. Like he's working in the lab.
Custom
He's
fonts.
figuring things out in his head and his heart. He's figuring it all out. And I get to be there at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty special space.
It's a very special space. So the benefit of it is that I just get tons of working time to turn things over and get better and better and better. The drawback is I don't get the experience of getting the fully baked thing handed to me to work through. I don't get the clean version of it. So when your one word came around, my one word is extraordinary. I told Evan that I wanted to be extraordinary 2 years before he wrote the book. And so I arrived at my one word accidentally because I was so upset and so feeling like I wasn't being extraordinary. I just confessed to Evan one day that I just wanted to be more extraordinary, and I thought that was egotistical. But it meant that when I read the book, I'd already found my one word because I was in the book, so I didn't get a chance to work through it. So I've always struggled to work extraordinary actually into my brand because I feel like I haven't come at it as clean. Purpose is your pain. A year ago November, after Tony Robbins, you and I was listening to you talk to someone be interviewed here and someone be interviewed there, and you did IG Lives where you'd invite people into your studio and do 1 hour every single day with them, a 1 hour show.
Yep.
And you were interviewing this guy. I don't remember the guy, but you were interviewing this guy, and you started to walk through the 3 things. And the purpose is your pain was like step 2 or something, and you used the example that you love entrepreneurs, but you're not going to help them move, right? That was number 3 was expression, I think, right? You're not going to show up to an entrepreneur and help them move offices, right? That's not the way you're going to express your help for entrepreneurship. And I'm listening to this, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So I'm texting Evan, and I'm trying to figure out what my pain is and all of this stuff, and I feel like I have something to prove always, which is why we named the podcast this. And anyway, all this said, so now you found your greatest pain. How do you actually work it into so the easy thing is mad, right? Daughter is killed by a drunk driver. She starts an organization to try and bring drunk driving to an end. Perfect. That's a great example. But for some of us, it's like what if you're a plumber? What if you're what if you're not a consultant? What if you're not going to take your pain and turn it into an IG live channel? What if you're I don't know, an account executive? What if you're an executive assistant? What if you're an entrepreneur who's really good at crafting? How do you take this pain and turn it into a purpose to help others in these ones where it's not thought leadership or consulting?
Well, that's a great question. First off, I don't care what you are right now. What if you're a plumber? Great. If you love being a plumber and that's tied to your purpose, great, but it may not be. Candace Leitner, who started MAD, was a real estate agent, single mom of 3, I think. So what she was doing had nothing to do with what she was about to do. So what you are right now really depends on your happiness level. If you love what you're doing, awesome. If you don't, then I don't care what you're doing right now. You're time to switch. Every brand needs to have a soul. This is what you do in marketing. You're trying to rip out people's souls and express it, right? So what is the soul of your brand? Whether you're selling pillows or coffee or hats, physical product, doesn't mean you have to go and be a preacher or just be a consultant. Mm-hmm. Every company has to have a soul.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have something to prove. Okay. I feel like I'm not good enough, and I was never good enough. And we've talked a bit about, if you talk about pain and growing up and all these things. So I feel like most of my value that I bring to others is my ability to help them. And so, that makes me hate criticism, and it makes me get super defensive, and I don't like making mistakes, and I become a perfectionist, and I move really slowly, and I'm scared of everything. Like, I figured out all this stuff with you over the last year about how all the negative sides. But so I have something to prove. I know that I can help entrepreneurs and help others who feel like they have something to prove those doubters wrong, build something amazing, have confidence, grow something that's next level crazy good. Mm-hmm. Now I have staff. They each have their own one word. They each have their own pain. They each mm-hmm. have their own purpose. Mm-hmm. Is it literally like either they align with mine and they're in, or they don't align with mine and they're out? Or how do you swirl all these different pains, purposes, one words, expressions, who, why, hows, and everything together?
Yeah, well, that's great. So values are what tie people together. The people who value the same thing that you value will go a lot further than the people who value different things. If you hire somebody who has a skill set but different values, it's not going to work out. Mm-hmm. They don't need to have the exact same value as you, but it's got to be pretty close. What their one word is gives you insight on how to push them. So if somebody's one word is honesty, and just knowing that gives you the permission to be more honest with them. Mm-hmm. Because not that you're going to go around and lie. Like if you had a organization where people were lying and hiding things, that person would drown. Mm-hmm. Because they value honesty too much. But that's why leading with the values allows you to attract the right people in. So I always lead with believe, and I want people who believe like I believe. But their one words aren't always believe. But it's going to be close. Just as an example, I see Summer Craig in the chat right now. Mm-hmm. Summer has jewelry. She sells jewelry. It's a physical product, mm-hmm. right? The jewelry has to tell a story. So her story is about empowering women. And I won't go too deep into it because I don't know how much she wants to make public yet. But empowering women from her past, great. So she wants empowering women. So how can you do that through jewelry? It doesn't mean you have to get on and do an IG Live every morning consulting women. But from how she sources the jewelry to the stories that she says to by putting this ring on, this means you are X, Y, Z, tells the story. When you put on a Nike pair of shoes, you're supposed to feel like you're LeBron James. That's what they're trying for, right? You're going to feel like a champion. It's just a pair of shoes. When you drink Coca-Cola, you're supposed to feel happiness.
I do. Can I tell you, I had a Diet Coke, a caffeine-free Diet Coke the other day, and popcorn. First thing I've had since May, and it was so good.
That's the brand promise. When they have their Christmas commercials and Santa's there and the polar bears are doing all those things and mm-hmm. all of that, right? That's what they're selling, happiness. What are you selling? It can be applied, like values can be applied to any product or service that you're selling. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you have to go start an Instagram live channel. This is the video. This was in your one word, the video that Steve Jobs broke down. I was trying to buy the rights to that video. Like I wanted to own that video. I couldn't figure out who actually filmed it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to own that video because for a while I was watching it every morning as a part of my morning routine, where it went through this speech about marketing is about values. Mm-hmm. And so you're just selling a commodity. Most people are selling a commodity. The advantage that entrepreneurs have is that you build it. So there's a story that is innate, that's inside it. You're not just building it to try to make money. If that's your number one goal, you're going to lose. How you beat the big corporations is your story.
Yes, for sure. For sure. And as you mentioned, you remind me all the time, I own a marketing agency and I've been doing this for a very long time. So I understand it. It's the it's not me owning my story. It's not me sharing my story when I'm one-on-one with you or ensuring that the feeling is conveyed when I'm speaking with clients or prospects, or that the copy isn't on, or that the feeling isn't there. Like all of that stuff comes intuitively to me because of my role in what I do. It's the, hey, you're going to have a 40-person team, and you want to ensure that every client interaction, like as a purist, I understand. As a structure, I understand. It's literally because I'm not, I need Louis or you to figure this out for me. Because I'm the thinker and not the feeler. It's the, like, when it comes to the interpersonal things of those who are working in it, how do they come under you to feel like they can own their pain and their purpose and their one word and their expression while still aligning under mine, because mine is so much better, right? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm Mark, I own the company, I set the direction, so guess what? My pain is more important than your pain. That's the way it feels to me.
Well, first off, I like how you just said that's the way it feels to me, because Mark
Great.
Drager actually is a feeler.
Feeler, not a thinker.
All humans are feelers first. You just buried it, Mark, so we need to unbury it. This year, we're going to unbury Mark's feelings.
We're going to unbury my feelings. We are going to beat disappointment, right? We're going to eradicate that.
Sure.
That's what you told me.
It. Okay, great. I like it.
You don't even remember.
I like it.
Perfect.
All you do is find logical reasons to justify your emotional feelings, Mark. Great.
Perfect.
But you said feel.
Yes, that's how it feels to me.
Let's just hold on that thought while I take a sip of my coffee, a slurp. Mark said feel.
Oh, let's listen. Excellent.
Satisfying.
Great. That's great for the audio listeners.
Satisfying. You lead with your mission. You lead with whatever. If it's something to prove and extraordinary, then that's what you lead with. Right? You lead with your story, something to prove, extraordinary. You're going to attract the people who love doing that. The people who see that and think this is stupid are going to be out. You're going to need to have people who care about personal development, because that's become your thing, as well as the people who are closest to you on your team and building and growing. Anybody who doesn't care about personal development is not going to be a fit at Fantech. Mm-hmm. You talk about that. You mention that in your job profile. Everybody's going to go through this process of figuring out what they value most and how they can grow and be challenged. Mm-hmm. Some people will see that and start feeling icky all over already.
I love that word, icky.
Just think about the people who've already left the team in the past 18 months, how much they aligned with personal development, with figuring out their one word. They did it because you forced them to, but they didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. So you lead with that to immediately self-eliminate a lot of the people who aren't going to be fits. Before you ever get to the job description and what your tasks and responsibilities are going to be, right? You lead with that.
Can I just say that I just noticed that AP Giannini is looking very stern right now over your shoulder?
He's agreeing. He's looking right into your soul, Mark. He's
he
saying,
looks very stern. I just noticed as you were like moving your head around,
yeah,
I looked.
I'm going to try to stay right here. He's like the angel on my shoulder. Okay, or he could be the devil. Yeah. My mom's the angel on the other side. He's looking right into your soul, Mark, and saying yes.
And he's just saying,
do this.
Not good enough, Mark. Not good
Let's
enough.
go.
Mark, I am very disappointed in you. That's what
his
face is telling me.
We're eradicating disappointment.
Yes, I know. Sorry, so you were saying something really deep.
Yeah, great. I'm glad the background distracted you. For the audio listeners, I've got a giant, if I back up, I guess that doesn't help the audio listeners. I've got this giant AP Giannini. Like, his head is, I don't know, what do you think, Mark? 6 times bigger than my head? 8 times bigger?
How big is your head? Your head is probably a foot long. Yeah, this is like a big 4-foot giant poster.
I go here.
Of this old, stern-looking dude from the 50s who's just like, just imagine.
The man.
Imagine a man, like a chairman of the board in the 50s photo. That's AP Giannini. He's saying, Mark, you got to do better, buddy. That's what he's saying.
you need your own AP Giannini on your wall. That's it.
I know. I don't have anything yet. I don't have anything. But I built my, anyway, let's keep going.
So you lead with it. That helps attract the right people in. But then people are going to let themselves down. People are not going to stay consistent. You should be the place where people want to come to grow. Mm-hmm. To grow as people. To grow.
But it scares, For those of most of us entrepreneurs,
you do scary things.
Are scared to either lead people the wrong direction, to lose good people. I mean, there's that old quote, right? Like, oh, why should we train people? They're just going to leave. If we don't train them, what if they stay? But
who said? Okay.
There's that old Bill Gates Microsoft quote or whatever, right? About it goes around in HR circles. Have you never heard it? Right? We should. One person says we should train our staff, and the other person says, well, what if we pay to train them and they leave? And then the first person says, well, what if we don't train them and they stay? Like, there's that thing. I think we're worried that we're going to grow people right out of our company, like great people we're going to lose. And so we get scared. We get scared of losing good people. We get scared of investing a lot of time into people who leave. Like, all of that stuff worries us. Okay,
you already have your answer. What if you don't train them and they stay?
I know.
I mean, what do you want? Okay,
I'm just telling you the reason why some of us don't do what you're saying.
Fear is the reason why people don't do anything. Great. It always comes down to I'm scared, and that's not a good enough reason.
Yeah, because we do scary things.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Great. There we go. That's it.
Great. And
Evan has all the answers always.
Well, as some people should move on. Some people should move on. Like, some people, if you actually care about their growth and you want them to win more than you want them to win with you, then you'll have to push some people away. Some people, not everybody needs to go and be an entrepreneur. Like, some people, it's not the thing that they should be doing. Some people, the best thing that they should do is actually be with you. If I look at Alex from my team at TDS, this is the best scenario for him in his life.
Yes, forever. I know your original plan was to mold him into a next level man and then set him free. But I think this is a forever thing, Evan.
Well, possibly. We have a goal for a milestone to hit at TDS, at which point we'll make a decision. And it's up to him. It's up to him. Do you want to continue with this or not? And that's what we said from the beginning. But if I ever felt like it's in Alex's best interest to go back and be, well, I mean, his old jobs were a security job, selling Interact machines door to door. He wanted to be a police officer and a marriage counselor. But if I ever felt like any of those things would be better than what he's doing right now, I'd say go do that thing. Like, I'll shut down the business, or I'll find somebody else. I'll find somebody else, really, and just go do it, right? And this is as much as, so Alex, we had this conversation not that long ago. He's like, man, you really need me. Like, you need me to run this business. Like, I could get somebody else to run it. Like, I could.
Oh, wow. Shot to his ego, eh?
Well, I built this thing around him. We rebranded, built the whole thing around him. But if Alex died tomorrow or decided that he wanted to move to Mexico or whatever, I'll get somebody else to run it, and I'll rebrand it around them. It's not going to be Belong, and it's not going to be what the school is right now. We'll have to do the whole thing over. We're going to call it my good friend Mark Drager from Fanta, and we're going to rebrand the whole thing again.
Again.
Do it.
Yeah.
There's one instructor who ended up leaving TDS who the best thing for him was honestly to stay at TDS. Like, he gets needed it for his own maturity and to see what's out there, but it's actually a big miss by the company that he didn't stay. But there's another people who I had to leave. I had to kick out. It's like, you're better than what you're doing here. I can't support you in you going after your goals because now you want to go do. One guy wanted to be a baker. It's like, I can't help you. I don't want to run a bake shop. You need to stop working for me. And I effectively let him go. I had to push him out because he wanted to stay, because it can be intoxicating to stay in the environment, but it's not what you want to do. So get out of here. Go do that thing. I love you. You're fired. Go. Right? So understanding what everybody wants and needs and then helping them try to get there is the game, right? This leadership game.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to, I don't know if I can make it out to your tour this year, but I have to. at some point.
I'm coming to Toronto. It's my last stop.
No, that's cheating.
That's a gimme.
Cheating. That's cheating. Last year I came to the first one and the last one. Hoping to come to the first one, which would be January 17th, I think, or something like that. Friday, January 17th or something in Cleveland.
17th, I think.
Does it sound right? It was the 16th. You moved it to the 17th?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully I'll come out to that one. But if we're doing the old format, it's time now for fun questions. Do you remember we used to do that?
Oh, but did we solve your question, though? This thing was bugging you for 3 months? And
yeah, I feel good about it.
Oh, okay.
Do you feel good about it?
I don't know.
Perfect.
Okay,
Evan, what is the most fun thing that you have eaten over this Christmas break?
Just point of order. I like how Mark said I feel good about it, not I think you did it.
I know. Because I noticed, I caught it in my kids. My youngest daughter, Jordan, who's 5, adorable and cute, is such a feeler. Like, she won't say I think anything. She'll literally be like, I feel like the dog is awake right now. She'll say stuff like that. And so I've noticed it in her over the last few months that she'll be like, I feel like I don't want to clean my room. Like, just anything she says is feeling related. And I was like, okay. And then I noticed a few of my other kids say that as well. So now I try to say things that I feel and not just things that I think.
Mark's a feeler.
I'm trying.
Angela is saying come to DC. I am coming to DC. DC, March 19th.
No. She's telling me to come to DC.
Oh, she's telling you to come to DC. All right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. All right.
Angela's in like Maryland, I want to say, or something.
Okay.
Anyway, she came out and we met at your very first event in Pittsburgh. She sat beside my wife and I, and she drove all the way there and then all the way back in a snowstorm. And told me that she got home at while the sun was rising the next morning at 6 a.m.
That's hardcore.
So that is hardcore. Yes.
I got to think about what the format should be for my new. I don't know what I'm going to do at these events yet.
Wow.
I've got a few ideas in my head tossing around.
Well, fun times. Great.
Yeah.
Fun question now. Ready?
Yeah. Kit Kat. Custom-made Kit Kats.
Oh yeah, you went to the Toronto Custom Kit Kat factory.
So there's a Kit Kat chocolaterie or something. I don't know what it's called. Where you can make your own Kit Kat. It costs, I want to say $18 or $16. You make your own Kit Kat each.
So there goes $300 in Kit Kats if you took your whole family, right?
No, we took the kids. Hayden and his nieces and nephews, his cousins, I guess, my nieces and nephews. You pick a base, so you pick white or dark or milk chocolate.
Dark.
And then you pick.
Great. I can do this vicariously through you. Okay, so you got your wafer. I'm going dark. What's next?
Yeah. Then you pick 3 toppings. And they have all sorts of toppings, from standard ones like sprinkles and chips and stuff. But then
Kit Kats are my favorite chocolate bar.
But potato chips,
no.
Mini marshmallows,
no.
Mint sprinkles,
no.
Oreo cookie crumble, lots of different gummy bears, from standard to weird stuff.
I don't want any of that. Sounds like all I want is just a Kit Kat. I could just go to the corner store and buy one.
Well, think about what normal. I don't know what normal. I gear towards I can't get this anywhere else, so I'm going to put. I would think what the kids actually put on too. They put the mini marshmallows and the gummy bears and the cookie crumble, but they have standard toppings. But I would have done potato chips for sure. Potato chips, just because.
You're making my stomach hurt right now. Actually, it's just it sounds that good.
So the 3 kids each got their own, and I had a bite of all of them. That was
nice.
On the Saturday. It was Saturday on our cheat day.
Sounds awesome.
I had rainbow poutine or unicorn poutine.
Yeah,
that was wild.
That. Oh, disgusting.
That was wild.
That was the day we came swimming at your place.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, we took that IG of you and me in the sauna with the kids.
Okay.
Do you know how many people texted me and thought we were naked in there?
Oh, great.
And I was like, we're wearing swimsuits and we're with children. No, we're not standing around naked, and we're not putting it on IGTV or IG Live or whatever it is.
So good.
Yeah, it was funny.
I love it. That's so good. I shared it too, I think. Did I share that? I think
you did. You did.
What else did we eat that day? We had the cheeseburger poutine was awesome.
I just asked for your favorite thing. You gave me your favorite thing. Kit Kats.
Okay, Kit Kat. Okay, good.
That sounds really good. That's it. Okay. That's the only question I had prepared.
Oh, wow. Okay, great.
That was the only fun question. I wanted to live vicariously through you. Yeah. I've gained a pound and a half this holidays.
I'm down.
I need to get back to being super, super serious. So.
The only cheat I had besides Saturday was on New Year's. I had a glass of champagne. I joined Nina.
Christmas Day. Well, I only ate keto food, but I certainly overate. Like I didn't. My wife makes every Christmas morning since she was 7. Every Christmas morning since she was 7, she makes the same thing, which is like a thin scrambled egg omelet with ham and cream cheese and full cream melted together, and then so you take the egg and then you put this like cream cheese ham thing over top. Usually, I mean, it's pretty intense. Usually you have like a slice. I had 4 for breakfast that morning. So
you love your cream cheese.
Oh, I love cream cheese so much. So much. I ate over New Year's. I ate an entire wheel of brie, just myself. I love cheese so much. So,
brie.
You can't handle brie? Oh, I love it so much.
I hate brie. Oh my God, brie and blue cheese are
I love
the worst.
Cheese, man.
The worst.
Anyway, let's. We have about 15 minutes left. Do we want to do some listener questions? If you want to drop a question, you certainly can.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Otherwise, we can scroll through and just pick some random questions as well.
All right. Let's see what we got. Let me scroll up. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. You're both looking better than before. All right. There we go.
Evan looks better because he's wearing like a really crazy good hat right now.
Right.
So
Where's Mark's hat? Where's my hoodie, Mark?
Where's your hoodie? Like a Fanta hoodie?
Yeah.
I'll get you one.
Why can't I scroll up?
They're not as nice as yours, so they don't have the thumb things. And where's my Believe hoodie, Evan?
Whatever. You're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I would actually wear it, okay?
I would wear your Believe hoodie.
All right. We just had to go get hoodies for Ray and Jeremy.
Here's a question.
For the tour. Is it not their decision to choose where to go next? I think this is talking about like when we're talking about the teammates.
Yep. Yeah, whether someone is working for you or someone else. I think it depends. I think if they know, if your staff members, if your team members, if they know what is next for them and they know what they want and they have a plan in place to go do it, then yes, it's 100% the decision. But there are times where people are terrified and they won't leave. And they would rather stay stagnant and unhappy and complain about everything and just think and dream about the thing that they want but never actually go after it. And so those people you have to push out of the nest. Evan talked about some staff members. I had Jason, an amazing guy that I loved, who followed me around and used to take video of me twice a week. We'd hang out for 2 full days, and he would video me. He came to Cleveland to Evan's event. And in the first 5 minutes of meeting Evan, it became clear to Evan and then eventually to me that Jason could no longer work with me. And I loved working with him, and I loved his questions, and I loved how he worked, and we were going to work together we were going to develop such a strong bond, but only 4 months in, I had to say goodbye to him because him working with me did not help him. It actually held him back from what he wanted to do. And so I asked him, I said, hey man, will you come full time? But he's just like, I can't come full time. I can only do 2 days a week. And it's like, well, we can't work together then anymore. I got to go find someone else where working with me will actually help them pursue. But instead, I was holding him back. So it's not his decision. He would have stayed, and I would have kept him if Evan hadn't made it clear to me that Jason had to go.
Is he still freelancing for you?
No.
That's too bad. I really like that guy.
I mean, he's worked a bit on the Fanta side here and there. But I mean, I haven't seen Jason. I haven't seen Jason since I said goodbye, and he came into my office and we hugged, and we had like tears in our eyes, and we were like, "Bye, man." And he's like, "This is it." And I was like, "This is it." Haven't seen him since then. My team members have. He's worked with us. I miss him. I got to reach out to him today. I miss that guy. I'm gonna send him a note.
Sentimental.
Yeah.
I like that guy, but that's a great example. What he wants to do, Mark can't offer him. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Most people have no idea what they actually want to do. And even the ones who think they know what they want to do is not what they should be doing. That's your job as a leader, to help unlock that. I was talking to Jeremy a couple weeks ago, who's on my team doing the YouTube consulting. And he was talking about New Year's resolutions. I see someone in the comments also said, what's your New Year's resolution? It's like, dude, just imagine, look at where you came this year. Look at where you came this year. You started 2019 at a grocery store, bagging groceries for people, and then and emailing me saying, hey, Evan, how do I work with you? Like, I'll walk your dog, I'll clean your car, just want to spend more time with you. And me messaging back, like, I don't need somebody to walk my dog. To then deciding in the desert, I made two decisions. One, we're going to launch this podcast, and then two, I'm going to recruit Jeremy. I'm going to teach him about YouTube, and now he's built a six-figure business inside of. When was that? When we were in Texas? Well, actually, no. It wasn't until I got back.
But it wasn't until May that you really launched it, right?
Yeah,
you
it wasn't until I got back.
Middle of April, you got back. So we're
like
talking
inside of 6 months, he built. Yeah, well, but inside of 6 months, he built a six-figure business, coaching people on their YouTube, doing a great job, helping a lot of people, and now he's joining me on my tour for 90 days, driving, meeting people. Joining it's an experience. It's a life-changing experience, and he's coming in and saying yes. Like, you could not have planned for that. There's no way you could have planned for that.
By the way, two ideas just popped in my head, and I'm sorry, I got to say them now so I don't forget them. One, make sure you have health insurance, please.
You have a great memory, Marks, but keep going.
And two, make sure that Jeremy is listed on your car insurance because he's under 25 and
we did both.
Do some special.
We did both.
Okay,
and we got Jeremy and Ray health insurance as well.
Good. For the whole 90 days or just for the first?
No, for the whole thing. Yeah. Perfect. It's actually not that expensive to get.
I know.
We just didn't know. So his entire world got changed. Now, whether Jeremy should be doing YouTube for the next 15 years, maybe, I don't know. But if it ever feels like Jeremy's place shouldn't be working with me, then I'll say, you need to go off and do your own thing. Like Jason on Mark's team, like Danny on my team, who wants to go do narrative films. So we had to push him to go make those films. But most people don't know what they want. Most people have no idea what they want.
If you want to know more about this topic, we had a really great conversation back in the summertime about this on an audio episode. I don't know what you called them on the YouTube side, but why firing amazing people sucks. That was the name of the episode. And it was around the time when we let Jason go. We talked about this in detail. It was a good one.
Mark,
I've got a question.
Yes, you're the GOAT.
Yes.
Wow.
Is that good or bad? I don't know what
GOAT means. Greatest of all time, so it's good.
I like that.
Yeah, glow up with Jay. Okay, what's your question?
So this is Montano Annie. How do we work up the courage to just get out of our cocoon if one have a great idea? One has a great idea. How do you get the courage to get out of your cocoon if one has a great idea? Evan, go ahead.
You go,
I read the question, so you get to answer.
What? Really? Is that how it works?
Yeah. That's how you get a rhythm going.
That's the rhythm?
Yeah.
All right, that's Mark's rhythm. One, trust your idea. And then two, find the smallest possible way to just get started. Even this morning, Mark messaged me and said, hey, it's only 55 minutes. Do you want to do this on Instagram instead of Zoom where we normally do it? And I said, up to you. And then he did right back. So I said, okay, fine, idea to action. Mark's ideas are great, something like that. Let's go. We're going on Instagram.
Yeah, I was driving at the time.
No problem. Find the smallest possible way and get started. Like, it's not going to happen by you sitting there on the couch thinking about your great idea and then watching somebody else make tons of money off of it. Break it down to the smallest possible step.
So the question was, how do I work up the courage to just get out of my cocoon? Is there even any working up the courage, or is it just like, that's not even the right question? The thing is, I have an idea. What do I got to do to take the first step? There's no time spent working up the courage. There's no time spent thinking about, like, how do I do this or that? It's just, I have an idea. What's the first step? Go.
You teach yourself that the fact that you need to summon courage means you have to do it. The fact that you're even thinking about it, like that thought process, that's what needs to be squashed. That I need to work up the courage. You're amazing. You do scary things. You love doing things that require courage. Go. Whatever follows next means you have to go off and do it. that's not an acceptable answer. If I had more courage, I would, nope, now you have to go do it. The fact that you said that. Yeah, if I were bold, if I had courage, the fact that you are going to finish that sentence with something and then not do it is the cycle that most people fall into in teaching themselves that they suck.
Yeah.
So you do it. You have to do it just because, and then expect to fail.
So on New Year's Eve, I posted this on IG, but on New Year's Eve, we were doing a really, really hard workout. It's the last workout of the year. I know you don't like to be sentimental, but this year's been pretty transformative for me. I wasn't even going to the gym before June, and in September I started going 5 days a week. And so the coach that we're working with was reminding us that it's like basically like the last, we have one more all out of the year. It's the last 30 seconds. Now's the time to do the best thing we've ever done, the hardest thing we've ever done, the fastest we've ever run. And in September, our friend Mike from New York, Mike Lamont, and I went to the gym together. And in September, he said, come on, Mark, let's set a best. And so I set the treadmill to 12 miles an hour as fast as it would go at an incline of 6 in September, and I almost fell off. And so this just scared me because she's like, you have to, like, it's the last time of the year. You have to set a personal best. The last time I almost fell off the treadmill. So I'm like, okay, now I got to set it to 12 and I got to go to 7% incline, 30 seconds. And I'm like, I'm really scared. I even started ejecting beside me. I'm like, I'm really scared I'm going to fall off. But whatever, I'm going to do this. I can always pull the little safety thing. So if I fall off, so if I break my neck, Evan's broken his neck. It's not the end of the world.
Not a big deal.
So I start, and I'm like halfway through, and I'm just shouting at myself. People are looking at me because I'm saying like, take long strides and remember to breathe, and like I'm just like getting myself pumped. And then the coach started counting the last 10 seconds down of the workout like it's New Year's. And then at the end, she wanted everyone to shout Happy New Year's. I couldn't breathe, so I wasn't shouting. But I was like, they're counting for me. Like, I'm running. They're counting. Everyone's counting down. This is amazing. So it finishes, and then I'm thinking about the year, and our coach is like, think about how proud you are. And I literally started crying. I started crying on the treadmill. And so everyone's cooling down and stuff, and then they all walk away, and I'm like, I'm just like wiping my eyes or whatnot. But I had such a powerful moment. But mostly, I was so scared. Man, I was so scared I was going to fall off the treadmill. And then I did it. Like, I could probably do an 8 if I had to.
That crying Mark, there's that thinker again.
Yeah. The one who weeps openly at a workout when everyone else is all sweaty, and meanwhile I'm just like,
yeah, that thinking Mark.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some people cry because of what they think, right?
Of course.
Anyway, I just wanted to share that story, mostly because that was actually the most scared that I've been for a long time. And yet I totally did it, and I could do it again, and I could probably do something even harder if I had to.
I think there's a great lesson in there too that kind of was subtle in that when people are counting down, you're telling yourself they're counting down for me.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, wow. Yeah. What is that? A little too Kanye for you?
I love it. No.
Oh, okay.
I think it's great. I think that's healthy. Like I think that's where if you have the self-love, then you can be hard on yourself, right? My mom used to tell me that all the time. Where in Canada we have we have a long weekend in May.
May 2
It's called Victoria Day. I think the U.S. matches with something else.
No, it's a week before Memorial Day. So
okay,
yeah,
that's the matchup. So my birthday is May 20th, and it's always on the long weekend, close to there. My mom would always tell me the fireworks were for me, that the whole country are celebrating
for you.
Yeah.
I love it.
My mom's up on the wall. I haven't told this story. Yeah, she always told me that everybody, okay, we would always stay up late past my bedtime to watch the fireworks because the whole country was celebrating for me. Victoria Day didn't even register. This is Evan Carmichael Day. The whole country. We're all buying fireworks to celebrate.
I think
that's
great. My anniversary is the day after your birthday. So
yeah,
we're kind of stealing a little bit of it.
I think people default, here's the thing, people will default to say, oh my God, people are judging me, I'm sweating too much, I'm yelling, I'm breathing too heavy, I'm too fat to be at the gym or whatever. Like, we default to thinking judgment and negativity. Where I'd love to default to be thinking everybody's cheering for me. Where the reality is most people don't care.
No.
Right? Like, 90% of people don't care. 8% of people are judging you, and 2% of people are actually cheering for you. But just assume that it's 98% of people cheering for you. I think that's great.
Yeah. As soon as I started counting, I was just like running, and I was just like, they're counting down from me.
But this is a new wind. I'm like, this is a new Mark Drager. That wasn't the conversation inside the head a year ago.
No, not even 6 months ago.
Yeah,
I posted something like that on New Year's, where it's like, think about the year we've had, think about the year that's ahead of you, but you only need 3 months, even less than 3 months. You have like 5 opportunities this year to have like crazy amounts of transformative change. It doesn't like it's crazy how much you can change in 2 or 3 months, and then again in the next 2 or 3 months, and then again in the next 2 or 3 months.
By doing scary things.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. We will leave it there. I really appreciate everyone listening, and we're gonna have to start season 3 soon. You know that, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I just follow you, man. I just show up. You tell me what to do.
And I just say mush.
Exactly.
Perfect.
If you want to know 5 pieces of life-changing advice from monks and gurus, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.